James Helder for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. With me, I've got the WBA World Champion, none other than George Groves. We're here in Monte Carlo, just had the draw. How are you feeling?
Good, very good, thank you, James. Yeah, it's been exciting, you know. Didn't quite know what to expect. I think anyone who would have seen it, seen that this is great, man. You know, like, it's proper high-end production. Lots of canapes, you know, for the journos, keep them happy, and you know, from there on, and some decent fighters here too.
Now, you had the whole pick of the board, so to speak. You was the #1 seed. What was your reasons for choosing Jamie Cox?
Yeah, I mean, you've got a choice. You know, you usually don't get these sort of choices in boxing, so it was a strange one. Went with my gut. My gut first said Jamie Cox. You know, it's not an easy fight, but I don't think there is an easy fight in there. But I think he's the easiest fight. So, you know, I spoke over with my trainer, Shane, and obviously he felt the same. The things that I think Jamie would cause problems for other people, you know, being a southpaw, being a bit rough and ready, being like, you know, I've come across those before. I've never lost to a southpaw as a pro. You know, I can, you know, I've always been able to sort of adjust and win well. I think I'm a lot bigger than Jamie. You know, the best I've seen him was at light welterweight, you know, and then I didn't really see much of him, and then he sort of came back and he's a super middleweight. Quite shocking. Obviously stood next to him, done the photos, done the face off. I am a lot bigger than him. That's not just in general for most fighters. That's obviously an advantage, but the way I fight, this is my style of fighting, my reach, you know, being bigger than my opponent's always a plus. So we'll obviously wait and see, but can't wait to get back, you know, back in the gym. It's exciting stuff.
When you was on the stage with Jamie, it looked like it was getting a little bit spicy at times. You could see an underlying simmer. Have you and him got history? Do you know each other better than we would know?
I mean, we shared rooms, like when we were amateurs together. Sort of, I was on squad before him, so he came in, I sort of showed him around, let him know where the sports hall was, let him know where the boxing hall is, that sort of thing. And then, because he was a bit older than me, he sort of progressed to the seniors and won a Commonwealth gold medal and sort of turned over. And I hadn't seen him since, you know, maybe apart from just running into him here and there. Most people get a bit awkward or a bit gun shy or a bit something else when you end up sort of falling into each other's division. You know, I've got so much experience now of being around sort of Brits at my weight that it's not a problem for me. But he did seem very edgy today. You know, there was a lot of performance, you know, and bravado from him, from his couple of friends here. I don't know if it's his trainer or his father or something. So, you know, this is obviously their world title fight, but this is their huge, you know, massive, stellar fight. And don't get me wrong, this is my first defence. It's the biggest fight of my career as well. But I've got so much more experience than Jamie Cox. You know? I'm trying to think, has he even headlined the show before? I'm not sure. He certainly hasn't had a big domestic fight, you know, and he's had one too many easy fights, you know. So I can't remember the last time I had an easy fight. You know? So for that reason, I feel I've had tremendous momentum. I've had sort of the best year and a half, 2 years of my career since I've been working with Shane McGuigan. You know, I'm the informed fighter in my division. I feel I'm the one who's sort of had the best lead in, the best run into this. Certainly out of the seeded fighters, and I just can't wait to get going. I can't wait to sort of get the show on the road.
Do you feel you've turned a corner now in terms of confidence? I would say we spoke about this before. I mean, you seem to go into your shell a little bit after the Froch fight. You've then got your mojo back. Obviously, a fantastic achievement to go out and win a world title. Do you feel comfortable within yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to assess in the present, you know. And hindsight is a wonderful thing.
Of course.
And I think, you know, being stubborn and being sort of element of unknown, you know, an element of not knowing where to go and what to do, and sort of made me go backwards in my career. And you know, I sort of spoke about it a bit recently, but obviously losing the first fight to Cole Froch when I felt the world was against me and I'd sort of been robbed at the end of it unjustly. I probably never quite got over that until beating Chugnov, you know, in May, where I can finally think, right, well, I can put these last few years, these 3 defeats to bed, because I've got what I wanted at the end of it, and I don't care anymore. Do you know what I mean? I don't care that you know it's in the past. You know.
Will them 4 fights be the difference between your fight with Jamie Cox? The fact that, like you mentioned, he hasn't had that marquee moment, that pressure situation.
I think so. I think there's a few other differences as well, but of course, you know, this is going to be in London. Do you know what I mean? This is going to be a sellout. You know, I think so. I think this is a fight that people are going to be really sort of excited to be part of, want to see. It's my first defence of my world title. You're going to see, I'm getting better, I feel. I'm getting better every fight. I'm raising sort of my game. I'm with a winning team. And because of that, you know, I think after a little while I'll be unstoppable. So I've sort of come in. I might not be the favourite with the bookies, but I'm there or thereabouts. I'm certainly, you know, favourite with a lot of the fans out there, and this is now my chance to go out and show I'm legit, and this is how it should be.
What did you think of Chris Eubank Sr. picking Anvi Yildirim for Chris Eubank Jr. when he had other options? What was your initial reaction?
I was sitting next to my pal, and I said I sort of got them all right, who would pick who, and I said I'm not quite sure on this one, so I think he's going to pick the Yank, and he didn't. He picked the Turkish guy. But if anyone was going to throw you a sort of a bit of a curveball, it would be Eubank Senior. But maybe he's selected correctly, because in his mind he's thinking, right, Eubank Junior's done a whole camp preparing for Abraham, and this guy is the most like Abraham. Also, no one knows too much about, you know.
Is that a good thing?
It's good or it's bad, really, because, you know, if this guy turns out to be really good, then you're in a tough fight against people who no one really gives too much respect to. You know, that's not always an ideal situation.
Whereas if you get beat to someone who's a world champion, or someone that's that proven credibility, oh well, but this, but that. But like you said, if you get beat to someone who's a bit of an unknown quantity, where do you go from there?
I mean, Yildirim is strong. I'm not sure if there is a typical Turkish fighter, but if I'd imagine a Turkish boxer, that's what he looks and fights like how I'd imagine. He's, you know, he's thick set, he's wide.
Compact.
Yeah. I mean, you had I don't speak Turkish, but he had his manager drilling him in our changing room for a good 15 minutes, and I know he was telling him, right, make sure you're in the centre, make sure everyone knows who you are, shake the lady's hand, you be nice to everyone, you smile, you be angry when they told you to be angry, and he did. He stood in the middle with his arms, elbows, his chest was up. I was thinking, oh, good on you, lad, like you're going to make yourself known, and I think we're going to see some good personalities come out of this, and if Eubank gets through his fight next week, I think the build up to their fight will be fantastic.
Intense. We love intense.
Yeah, exactly.
We do love intense.
You know, again, Eubank flutters in between middleweight and super middleweight. So if he does get through and he's in, he's going to be big enough to compete with the big super middleweights, even the guys coming down from like heavyweight. So, there's a lot of ifs and maybes and buts, but.
I don't want you to think about fighting anyone else than the man you're fighting. But who do you think will be there or thereabouts come the end of the tournament, in your opinion?
Obviously, I think I'm going to win it, so I'll be one half, and then you have to say that you think Callum Smith will be, you know, make up the other half of the final. But this is not going to be a foregone conclusion. There will be a couple of upsets, I'm sure. I'm just going to make sure that the number one seed isn't an upset. I'm going to make sure that I win, and I just can't wait to get back in the gym, get fit, because as I say, everything's been going well. I feel this is my chance to shine, and one concern was straight after winning the world title was, you know, the motivation's going to be there, but will it be the same? Will the drive, the determination, the sort of, will it be there? And now it is. You know, this is what I feel get me where I feel I've always been capable of. I'll be unified sort of world champion, and then there'll only be one or two left out for me to sort of pick out.
It's that old saying, isn't it? It's that old saying that a belt can add 10% to a champion or a fighter.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but they also say, you know, it's easier winning it than it is, you know, keeping it. So I'm not going to take my eye off the ball. I think Jamie Cox will be hoping that I'm going to take him lightly, that I'm not going to train properly, that but that's just not my character. I mean, anyone who knows me knows, and Jamie will know that if he remembers that far back. You know, I train harder than anyone, you know, on squad. There's only 3 or 4 of us who could keep up, you know, and I've never changed. Do you know what I mean? It's always been hard work and striving to get there, and certainly not gonna. I've paid the price for putting my efforts in the wrong direction. Never gonna happen again.
Listen, on that note, I really appreciate you giving Arthur a bit of time. I've
Yeah,
extended
you're
that 4 minutes to
absolutely
10 minutes.
I thought he was going to pass out.
We're not going to talk about that.
Myself.
We're not going to talk about that. I'm going to leave
It
you
is
and your
hot
brother
in
to
here.
chill out, and we will catch you real soon. Top man, thanks, George.